Hello everyone, this is the imperishable Sammy Zenith. I'm back from the dead once again. I'm also known as Sammy Classic Sonic Fan. Oh, I forgot to properly introduce myself. Hello citizens, this is the imperishable Sammy Zenith. And I'm at AMC. I'm going to Theater 4. You can't really see it because of the lighting up there. Well, that's Theater 4 that I'm going to, and I am seeing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. So, if you look at the reviews for that movie, the reviews are generally pretty mixed, but I don't think these critics are really Sonic fans. I'm a real Sonic fan, so you can trust me as a good source of information. So, I'm going to watch this movie, and, you know, after we're done watching this, well, you know, after I'm done watching it, you know, I encourage anyone to go watch it and form their own opinion, but after I'm done watching it, I'm going to share my opinions with you guys. And, also another thing, I've really been, looking forward to this movie ever since it was announced way back in 2014. Of course, I had some concerns about it, like the PG-13 rating, it being live action, but it's turned out really great. The initial trailer was pretty scary, I guess, you know, just how freaky Sonic looked, but they fixed the design and it looks great now. I'm just happy my one of my favorite gaming icons and my you know, childhood hero, all that good stuff, he's now on the big screen, the big movie screen, and I'm really excited for that. So yeah, like I said, I've been looking forward to this movie for quite some time, and you know, I can't wait to go into Theater 4 and watch it. Yeah, this is a pretty nice theater. I can show you around real quick because, you know, the previews haven't even started yet. I can show you around real quick. This is AMC. It's a pretty nice theater. It's the one in Castleton. Because, remember, I'm in Indianapolis. So, this is the front of the theater. Got all your snacks here, all your essentials. Oh yeah, and, this is, if you want to go out here and go to Castleton Mall, you can do that. Anyways, let's go towards the theater, and, I don't want to draw out this part of the video too much. I will share my opinions with you afterwards. Okay, I just walked out of the theater. Also, in case any of you are curious, I went with a group of friends. We already, you know, parted ways, but, I'm not a total loner. I promise. Anyways, that was awesome. I loved it. If you're a Sonic fan, you are definitely going to love that movie. And even if you're not a Sonic fan, really, that's definitely something I would recommend seeing, you know, like with the whole family, or, you know, if you're a kid, or even an adult. There's a lot of humor in there. It's a funny movie, and you know, it was just a great time. And if you guys don't mind, you know, this is my channel. I am going to get into some spoilers, so if you're not interested in hearing spoilers, then I suggest just clicking off this video. And, you know, I strongly suggest going to see that movie. It's, you know, it's definitely money well spent if you go to see it. I mean, movie tickets aren't even that expensive, and you know, that was just a really fun movie to watch. So, also, I guess before we get into spoilers, like, if I had to compare it to another movie like Detective Pikachu, I would say I liked it better than Detective Pikachu, but I think that's just because I'm a Sonic fan. I'm not really much of a a Pokemon fan, personally. But, yeah, I definitely liked it better, even though Detective Pikachu was also pretty awesome. So, I'm gonna get into some spoilers now. Yeah, so let's talk about how they like characterize Sonic and some of the other characters in the movie. Sonic in this movie, they definitely nailed his personality. I just love how full of energy he is. And in a way, Sonic inspires me, like, in a lot of ways. Not just, like, my hobbies, like video games, like playing video games, but, also just in life, I love Sonic. I just love his personality, and this movie, I think, really nailed it. So, and his voice actor, Ben Schwartz, definitely did a good job voicing Sonic. They picked a really good voice for Sonic, and I love his take on the character. I'm always interested to see, whenever there's a new voice actor for Sonic, what his take on the character is going to be. And I'd love to see Ben Schwartz come back and voice Sonic for like a sequel. And that I feel like they have to make a sequel. I don't know how this movie did in the box office just yet. It seems pretty popular. I'm not entirely sure how it did in the box office, but I just think they definitely like opened the door for a possible sequel, because if you stuck around for the mid-credit scene, guess who appears? Tails the Fox! Yes, Tails the Fox. I have to say, Tails is my favorite character in the series other than Sonic, and he's Sonic's best friend. How could you how could you not include him in a Sonic movie? And I think that's what the sequel will sort of delve into, their friendship. He was actually searching for Sonic because Sonic came to this dimension. If you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about. He came to this dimension. He has his own homeworld, and the rings act differently in this movie than they do in the games. In the games, they're used for protection, and in this movie, rings are used for travel, interdimensional travel, actually. And Tails is, for whatever reason, for searching for Sonic. I don't know who sent him. Maybe that owl lady is still alive. I forget her name. But as for like other characters, how other characters were characterized, so Sonic's friend in this movie is a cop, a human cop. His name is Tom, or Donut Lord. I promise it's not the one from Jimmy Neutron. But anyways, yeah, he was Sonic's friend in this movie, and I think they really play off of each other well. I really like their chemistry, and it's really entertaining to watch them on their adventures throughout the movie. I especially liked the bar scene. That was a lot of fun. I've actually never even been in a bar, so that movie made me actually want to go to a bar, because I guess I am 21 now, so it would make sense. But anyways, and there are just so many hilarious jokes in this movie. Like, it, even though it's a PG rated film, or maybe it's PG-13, I forget, but there are just a lot of hilarious jokes in this film. You can be a kid or an adult, and you'll you're going to laugh it, trust me. But as for Robotnik, he was played, of course, by Jim Carrey, and Robotnik was, of course, hilarious in this movie, and I think Jim Carrey's the perfect fit for Robotnik for this movie, just because of how eccentric Jim Carrey is. Like, if you watch movies such as Dumb and Dumber and The Grinch and, you know, The Mask, movies like that, movies that I actually grew up watching a bit. My parents would play those movies, and I obviously, as a kid, I loved those movies. So it was great to see Jim Carrey, this actor that I've been watching since I was a kid, play Robotnik, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. And if you're afraid, like, Jim Carrey carried the movie, he didn't carry the movie. He's not the only reason to go see this movie, but still, if you're a fan of Jim Carrey's and you just love his work, and, you know, you just love how, like, eccentric, goofy he is, he definitely manifests that in this movie. And he even expressed interest in coming back for the sequel that I'm pretty sure they're going to make at this point. Apparently something happened with the animation company who animated this movie. I don't know much about that, but still, I definitely have my hopes up for a sequel, for sure. And as you guys know, I haven't really talked publicly about the Sonic movie that much. I think it's really cool that the animation company went back and redid everything, because they realized, okay, fans do not like this design, and we need to change it. And, you know, and you don't really see that with many companies. They don't really like to acknowledge that they made a mistake. And, you know, I just think times are changing, like, especially with social media. You know, people have an ability to be a lot more outspoken and influence, like, the creative studios and whatnot. So that was really, really cool of them. They put a lot of effort into making those changes, and, you know, it really paid off. You know, Sonic, in my opinion, looks great in this movie. And you know, I love how cartoony he looks. You know, he definitely had a very cartoony personality, almost like his like how he was characterized in the 90s, you know. I loved it. Almost like, you know, if you watched, like, the Sat AM cartoon or Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, it was almost like that in a way. So yeah, they did a really good job with this movie, I think. And as for, like, Sonic's abilities, his speed powers were definitely, like, really, they were, like, really hype in this movie. Like, even in the games, it wasn't, like, this hyped up, you know. Like, in this movie, he has, like, the blue electricity. He almost reminded me of, like, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan at times, especially when, like, his abilities were amplified by, like, his anger. There are moments where Sonic, like, loses his temper in this movie, so it's kind of interesting. But yeah, I really liked his abilities in this movie. You know, I also liked him using rings sort of as, like, a weapon in a way. And you know, he also has his trademark abilities like the spin dash, and he also uses like his quills sometimes. It's interesting. Like he, yeah. So he has blue lightning powers. That's not in the games, but that's okay. I mean, it's not like this is canon anyways, or at least I hope not. I hope Sega doesn't decide like, oh well, you know, we're actually gonna canonize this to the games. Like, don't make games based off of this. Like, just keep it separate. You know what I mean? But yeah, overall, really liked it. It's definitely a treat for Sonic fans. You know, there's some great Easter eggs in there. You know, like Mushroom Hill Zone, for instance. Sonic repeatedly talks about going back to Mushroom Hill Zone, and of course at the beginning of the movie you have baby Sonic running around Green Hill Zone, or I guess he was more like a toddler. And also at the beginning of the movie they show like Sonic 2, Sonic Generations, just you know, plenty. It's definitely an homage to everything Sonic has always been, you know, throughout the history of this video game series, which I really like. That's really great. I'm glad, you know, they're trying to make the fans happy. That's definitely something you want to do when you're making a video game based off a movie. Video game based movies aren't always that great, as I'm sure many of us know, but I think over time they have gotten better at making games based off of movies like this, obviously, Detective Pikachu, Wreck-It Ralph, and apparently Illumination is making a Mario movie, like an animated movie. We don't have very much information about that yet. Apparently Miyamoto's overseeing it, so I'm interested to see how that turns out. Anyways, I don't want to make this video too long. I think I've said almost everything I need to say. If I could give this movie like a score, a rating, let me think about that. I think just because I'm a Sonic fan and I really found a lot of enjoyment out of this. For me personally, it was a 9 out of 10, I would have to say. I mean, for like non-Sonic fans, like, you know, many of the professional critics who reviewed this movie and gave it like 6 out of 10 and stuff, I guess I can understand why they would like it less, but personally, I just had a lot to like about this movie, just because, you know, this movie is essentially fan service. I mean, you know, it's the series is nearly 30 years old now, and we're just finally seeing Sonic adapted into a theatrical movie, and so, you know, it's definitely something that's been highly anticipated for Sonic fans. I've been a Sonic fan since I was 5 years old. You know, so Sonic has had a big impact on my life. If it wasn't for this character, you know, I wouldn't have made any of those Rage videos back in the day. You know, I wouldn't be nearly as like popular as I am now. So yeah, I don't want this video to go on too long. I'm back from the dead, baby. I am truly imperishable. This is the imperishable Sammy Zenith signing out. See you later. By the way, I want to give a shout out to another YouTuber named Geekdom 101. He came out with a review for this movie before it came out, because he got to see an early screening, and you know, I really liked hearing his opinion on the movie, because he's one of my favorite YouTubers, actually, and he's also a Sonic fan as well as a Dragon Ball Z fan, in case anybody wasn't aware that I'm a Dragon Ball fan. I've actually been a Dragon Ball fan ever since, I would say, my sophomore year of high school. So it's been about 5 years since I became a Dragon Ball fan. But anyways, yeah, you know, I really liked hearing his opinion on it, especially before the movie came out. I actually did see his spoiler review before I went to watch the movie, but you know what? That's okay. It didn't make me want to watch the movie less. If anything, it actually made me more excited for the movie. But anyways, I suggest checking him out, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. See you guys later. Maybe I'll make more videos like 100 years from now. Anyways, goodbye.